Once again, we get yet another confirmation when it comes to the comic book industry that I was right about the current direction that they keep going in. I've said for a while now, these people have no more interest in making good content. They just want to farm these IPs to put them on the big screen and put them on TV series and all sorts of stuff like that. They don't write comic books to make comic books anymore. Because when you write comic books, your only limitation is your imagination. You could make things and stories that are absolutely fantastic and just really blow people away. And from those things, these people want to do these things. They may come and, look for ideas from it and see what they could do. That's how it works. But no, now we have these writers, so-called writers, we call them, and these industries that no longer care about what they're doing, literally going out of their way to make things specifically suited to be on either a small screen or big screens. When you look at the type of comic books that they put out now, it's basically just them handing in a script for a TV or movie. That's it. And if you believe I'm just talking nonsense, dive into this article here from Bounding into Comics. Marvel Comics executive editor confirms publishers' current purpose is to develop new ideas and new stories that can serve as creative fodder for eventual film and animation development. So yeah, they're not even making comics for comics anymore. They're literally making them just to have them turned in to movies and possibly animated series, because then I get about the animated series that Marvel have been putting out lately is total crap. So I guess you get what you get me. In a sad, if not expected moment for the artistic integrity of the overall medium, Marvel Comics executive editor Tom Brevoort has finally confirmed fans' long-held assumption and fear that the publisher's operations now exist primarily to serve as a content farm for Marvel Studios' television and film ambitions. Not shocking. Not shocking really at all. All you need to do is look at the quality of the work that they put out lately, and you could see that. Brevoort, who also serves as the publisher's senior vice president of publishing and oversees its X-Men line. So yeah, he signed off on that nonsense involving Ms. Marvel jumping into the X-Men timeline. So yeah, he signed off on it. But I will say one thing in regards to Tom Brevoort. He does answer questions with his Substack Man in a Hat stuff that he does. So it is something I will say that with it, he does do that. Right. So I was answering questions on February 9th. That week, a reader prompted by their recent building of Lego's new X Mansion set inquired with the editor as to if there was any particular reason that he and the rest of the X-Men office declined to take any aesthetic inspiration from the team's X-Men animated series or X-Men 97 era for their recent From the Ashes editorial relaunch, particularly given that this version of Marvel's Merry Band of Mutants holds the most mainstream recognition. Now, for many people, X-Men the animated series and X-Men 97, well, more so X-Men the animated series, is their first entry into the X-Men line, right? Before the new X-Men line. Like I've always said, if you start off with X-Men animated series, go and read the X-Men comics. There are a lot of good content there. You can get fantastic stories and stuff there, good character development, all these things are there. But one thing the X-Men animated series did is that it kept the group small. They were a small, contained strike force for Charles Xavier. Yes, it was technically a school and the other, okay. But like I said in a previous video, I did later get rid of what and go back to just being a strike force. That's what they need to do. But it was a small strike force. You only had a certain amount of core members. Now they've abandoned that, and everybody and their uncle inside them, the most ridiculous one, it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, a lot of people more know X-Men from the animated series, and a lot of people got into X-Men, well, reading X-Men comics based off of the animated series. So that's something that they should always look for to build on. Oh, nonsense. In turn, editor explained X-Men 97 and that Lego X Mansion are based on the X-Men of a popular era. An era that fans were very vocally afraid things would be shifting back to when the progressive Krakoa era had run its course. Progressive Krakoa era, that's one way to put it. But the purpose of Marvel Publishing is to be out in front, the tip of the spear, generating new ideas and new stories that can serve as creative fodder for eventual film and animation development. So yes, openly admitted it, that's what they're doing. Yeah, so he's literally come out and said it, that's what they're doing. They are literally just, they talk about how they want to be progressive and move forward and tip of the spear, generating new ideas, but it's all to serve as creative fodder for eventual film and animation development. It's not to make good stories in comics. No, we need to do this so that eventually it will be turned into this. That should never be your mindset. Your mindset should be to make great, compelling stories. If they get turned in and they get adapted, it's because the stories are so good. You shouldn't go in there thinking, listen, I am going to do this for the sole purpose of it ending up like this. That doesn't work. It does not. Continues on. So trying to revert things to 1992 or whenever would seem to be defeating the purpose in a major way. Better, I think, to try to develop new status quos that future X-Men projects in film and television can draw from. So then, if that's the case, Tom, why is it that everybody wants it to go back? Because what you've been doing with this progressive nonsense isn't working. I'm not saying you cannot generate good stories and things like that. You can. But you have to understand the core concept of what you're doing to these characters. During the Krakoa era and after, you turn the X-Men into everything they were never supposed to be. The X-Men went from being the X-Men, mutants who were fighting to save the world, all kind of thing, despite being despised by humanity for who they were. They were doing that. They upheld the dream of Charles Xavier, and they did this. And they went from that and literally became the Brotherhood of Evil. That's basically what they became. They embraced everything Magneto wanted. Isolation, thinking that they were better than everybody. Mutants were supposed to be the best out of everything everything that Magneto wanted. The X-Men fully embraced with the Krakoan era. They fully embraced it. And then when you had the whole Orcus thing, they basically became cold-blooded murderers. They were out there killing people like it was a joke. That's what they did. And you're acting like that is supposed to be some kind of progressive thing forward. No, that's the very wrong idea to actually be doing. And if you're saying, you want to develop a new status quo that future X-Men projects in film and television can draw from, I can tell you right now, if you decide to put that crap outside there in film and television, it's never going to fly because people will literally walk away from it. That's what's going to happen. As noted, readers have long presumed that the House of Ideas now exists solely to pump out source material for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they've done. They've been literally trying to act like, the MCU is the main Marvel universe. That's what they've been trying to do. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And they keep failing. Look at what happened with What If, for instance. They ran out of ideas when they could have done some interesting things with the What If they wanted to, But no, they stuck with the MCU. And I know, okay, yes, they could have still done some interesting stories with the MCU if they wanted to, perhaps. But eventually you were going to run out, and you could have actually started to make really cool ideas and really cool What If stories had you gone in to the actual Marvel universe. But no, especially of just how much attention Phase 5 and 6 gave to the publisher's recent post-Disney acquisition stories like Thor's fight against God the God Butcher, as originally told in 2013's Thor God of Thunder Volume 1, and adapted in Thor Love and Thunder, one of the worst, not one of, it was the worst superhero movie, or Marvel, I should say Marvel Cinematic Universe movie ever. Also, Riri Williams building of her own Iron Man armor, 2015's Invincible Iron Man Volume 3 and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Oh yeah, Riri Williams, the character nobody likes, nobody wants around, but no, let's keep acting like that's something else because we won't stop until it is we establish that Tony Stark is now a 16-year-old black girl. That makes sense. And Kamala Khan's awakening as an inhuman, 2014's Miss Marvel, Volume 3, Miss Marvel, over the 50th of stories that preceded them. Now, the thing about Kamala Khan, and somebody said to me recently in a post that, if Kamala Khan had originally been a mutant, that would have worked. I personally never had a problem with Kamala Khan being an inhuman. The problem is that nobody likes Kamala Khan. I don't even like Kamala Khan. Had they actually taken the time to give her some interesting powers, had her develop slowly, sort of trying to kind of force her into everything, and I was given these ridiculous powers, these giant hands, yeah, then you could have had something, but you didn't do that. You didn't. And you decided to push that above everything else. However, Brevoort's blog post serves as the first outright confirmation of the fact by someone directly connected to their to either entity. But this is a fact I've been saying for a while. Whether it is they come out and confirm it or not, you can tell these things by just looking at what they're doing. The evidence is clear. Once you can see that, you know exactly what they're going to do, what they are planning to do, what they have been doing. While an admitted death rattle for the idea of mainstream comics as any sort of creator first endeavor, this development is particularly worrying given the fact that Disney and Marvel Comics already go out of their way to avoid treating creators with the financial recognition they deserve, and that's unlikely to change even with creators working with the colloquial knowledge that their work will eventually pull in millions of dollars in ticket sales, licensing deals, and merchandising. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you here, people. Going to work at Marvel or hell, even Disney right now as a creator is one of the worst things you can do. Honestly. The only thing you really get out of it is the fact of knowing that you created this and it's out there. They don't pay people well. They don't give people recognition. These companies take what you put out there, take it for themselves and say to them, you know what? We're going to make all the money, pay you literal shillings, and then just walk away with everything. And you can't do anything about it. And that is an actual fact. Between such situations as Rocket Raccoon co-creator Bill Mantlo having to fight for his rightfully due profits from the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. You see again? Spider-Man 2099 creator Peter David being left to crowdfund his medical bills despite the blow-up success of Across the Spider-Verse because they take and don't give you anything. And Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld's recent disrespecting during development and premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine. And all the man wanted was just some respect, they wouldn't even do that. History suggests that modern creators are being taken for an absolute ride just for the chance to live out their lifelong dream of working for one of the big two. Like I say, this is why indies are becoming so believe people take everything, give you nothing, and walk away like, well, too bad for you. In a funny bit of coincidence, the same time Brevoort made this post, the MC was gearing up for his latest release, right here, Captain America Brave New World, which actually did horrible at the cinemas and all of that. So yeah, we all know that the Captain America Brave New World, aka Falcon Cap, is bombing at the cinemas. So yeah, this is what's going on. So Tom Brevoort has come out here and actually admitted that this is what they do. They put out the whole thing that they have creators doing now is that they want them to just develop new ideas and stories that can eventually be turned into film and animation projects. That's their mindset going forward, and this is why they keep putting out so much crap. They won't hire good writers to do this. They hire people who just want stuff for whatever, and they find these people having to go to crowdsource and figure that gives them all this kind of thing. This is what these companies do. They have completely lost the idea of what they're doing and it's turning to this. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like, give it a hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.